The movie begins in 2022 during Thanksgiving in Plymouth, Massachusetts, where we see a family celebrating Thanksgiving. People gather in front of the RightMart supermarket in preparation for Black Friday sales. We see people anxiously fighting to get in. Jessica and her boyfriend Bobby go out with their friends to the movies. One of their friends says he needs a phone and they stop at the supermarket, so they go and park there. Jessica runs into a friend named Ryan who wants to ask her out even though Jessica has a boyfriend. Jessica's father, Thomas, owns the store, so Jessica goes in with her friends, which makes people upset. Manager Mitch comes out of the store to tell people that the store will open in 10 minutes. The boy asks why he let the others in. So people get angry, knock down the barriers, and cause a stampede. People try to get into the store. The security guard runs out.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
One security guard tries to open the door, but people break it first and run, and causing many deaths. Evan is recording everything. A boy has his neck cut, but he still grabs his product. Bobby tries to help security, but they step on his hand. And Amanda Collins, the manager's wife, they hit her with a cart and pull her hair. Mitch realizes and calls for help. The cop gets angry and shoots, and so it begins. Welcome to Random Recaps. In this video, I am going to recap the movie. 1 year later, we see that Evan uploaded the video to YouTube and that the supermarket will reopen on Black Friday. Therefore, Mitch and a group of people protest against Thomas, but Thomas doesn't care. On the news, they say that no one knows about Bobby and that the cameras weren't working when it all happened.
Wait a minute!
Meanwhile, Jessica and her friends are tagged in a video that makes them uncomfortable. Thomas was going to do a commercial, but the place was vandalized and an axe was stolen. Jessica gets angry with her father for wanting to reopen the store on Black Friday. Then at a restaurant, Jessica realizes that Bobby has returned to town, and suddenly she is tagged in a post. The table is set, and then we see that Ryan is now dating Jessica. Jessica sees a guy outside with a John Carver mask. Context: John Carver was one of the leaders of the Mayflower Pilgrims and the first governor of the Plymouth colony. Then we see someone sharpening the axe. At night, a waitress named Lizzie is attacked by the guy in the John Carver mask. He puts her in water and then sticks her to the freezer door before axing her. Lizzie manages to hide, but when she gets to her car, she runs into the guy who runs her over with her own car. And the next day, we see her wrapped around the supermarket star. The John Carver account tags the friends again, and they realize their names were in the photo of the table. Eric realizes that the killer uses John's mask. He also discovers that Lizzie was present at the Black Friday riot, which leads them to believe that those involved in the massacre are being targeted by John Carver. Eric asks Jessica for help to solve the case. When leaving the police station, Jessica runs into Bobby. Jessica tells him she saw him at the restaurant yesterday, but he says he arrived today. Bobby and Jessica walk, and Bobby apologizes for disappearing. Jessica tells Bobby that on the night of the accident, her mother panicked and deleted the recordings, although there is still a backup at her house in her dad's office. Then Bobby realizes that Ryan is now Jessica's boyfriend. Then we see the supermarket security guard going on vacation, but he's not going anywhere because the masked guy comes and attacks him. And then he cuts off his head and keeps it, and he gives the kitty food. And then he puts the guard's head on his Thanksgiving table next to Lizzie's and tags Jessica again. The next day, the police begin looking for the killer. Jessica checks the backup of the security cameras. Ryan realizes that Bobby is with Jessica. Jessica prints photos from the cameras, and she goes to the police station to show Eric. In one of the photos, Ryan appears, who knew the man who died crushed. Jessica tells her friends that Ryan knew one of the guards, so they suspect him. And everyone starts distrusting everyone. Ryan calls, but Jessica doesn't answer. And we see Ryan in disguise. Bobby comes to talk to Ryan, and Ryan wants to hit him. Then some students, Amy and Lonnie, go to the court. Amy starts jumping on the trampoline. Lonnie looks at her ass, and the masked guy breaks his neck, and then kills Amy. The sheriff evacuates the school, but Evan and Gabby go in for a moment, so the guy kidnaps them. At that moment, Jessica sent them a message, and the masked guy tells her to come. Jessica goes looking for them and finds Gabby's phone. The masked guy attacks her. Jessica runs away and manages to hide. The masked guy looks for Jessica. Jessica tries to grab scissors but makes noise, so she grabs a spray and sprays it in his face. I don't know why, because the guy is wearing a mask. Although she still manages to escape. Bobby comes to comfort Jessica, and so does Ryan. Bobby tells her about the security guard. Ryan says he only bought her Adderall that day. Julia's father takes her to Florida to protect her. Jessica and Scuba go looking for weapons to protect themselves from the guy, but Jessica doesn't want any weapons. The masked guy arrives at Yulia's house, gets rid of the guard. The father realizes, but the guy also gets rid of him. Scuba calls Yulia, and the guy stabs things in her ears, leaving her half-deaf. Yulia begs for help. Jessica and Scuba arrive at Yulia's house. The guy shows them that he also has Evan and Gabby. Scuba tries to shoot him, but he had the safety on, so the masked man disembowels Yulia. Jessica and Scuba are severely traumatized. Thomas decides to close the store. The police plan to use Jessica's and Scuba's family as bait at the parade. Mitch puts on the mask and goes to the parade. The parade begins. Jessica's family is in it, and they see a guy with the mask, but it's not. Then they see another, and then another, and well, many have it. Mitch starts protesting in the middle of the parade, and suddenly a clown slits a turkey's throat.
What the fuck?
Causing a crash and a guy to die. Everyone runs away. Jessica and Scuba go with the police, but the clown shoots him. The clown puts Thomas, Jessica, and Scuba to sleep and kidnaps them. Then we see the guy cooking Kathleen alive.
Bruh.
He turns on the oven and takes off his mask, which burns. Kathleen hides. The masked guy looks for her. Kathleen tries to escape the house and finds dead people. Well, she wasn't dead. She grabs the bottle and tries to hit the guy, but he attacks her. And then he stabs the thing through the back and puts her in the oven.
That's gangster. That's gangster.
Kathleen asks for help, but the guy injects her, changes his little mask. The cops realize the guy is streaming the Thanksgiving table live, so they go looking for him. But they find nothing, except tunnels under the street. We see Jessica and the others tied up. The police go through the tunnels, but they don't find anyone other than a phone recording the monitor. With another cell phone, he keeps recording, and the turkey is Kathleen in the oven. He takes blood from Amy. The guy beats Evan to death live. And people like it. Jessica manages to escape. So does Scuba, and attacks the guy. Jessica and Scuba try to escape, but the guy tries to kill them, and he axes Scuba. The guy chases Jessica through the woods, but she manages to escape. Jessica finds the unconscious sheriff. Jessica sees a figure enter the store, grabs the gun, and follows it. There she finds Bobby. Jessica tells Eric that Bobby is the killer and some guys are hurt. Eric goes out and says that Bobby is still inside. We see a figure grab a hammer. The police tell Jessica that the others are safe. Then they leave and leave Jessica alone. Eric comes back, and Jessica realizes Eric has the same remnants of the woods on his pants as she does.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
So she realizes the sheriff is the masked guy. Eric realizes she figured it out. He closes the door and says he drugged Bobby and disguised him to blame him, but Bobby knocked him out. Eric reveals he was having an affair with Amanda, who was pregnant with his child when she died. This was his motive, to become John Carver and seek revenge on those responsible. And while Eric confessed everything, Jessica broadcast it live. Eric gets angry and attacks her, but Bobby appears and saves her. Eric chases them with the axe. Jessica inflates the turkey balloon. The two flee in the truck, but Eric stops them, attacks Jessica, but she uses the shotgun as a shield. Bobby starts up, but Eric stops them. Jessica loads the shotgun and shoots towards the turkey to explode it. And so Bobby and Jessica are saved. The next morning, Bobby is taken to an ambulance, and the authorities cannot find Eric's remains, leading them to believe he was incinerated in the explosion. But Jessica still has nightmares in which Eric on fire attacks her. And so the movie ends.